Tonight on the Ninja Foodi Grill and Griddle, we're going to do a pizza. And that's because I think this device just might be the best thing on the market for doing pizza indoor. I mean, it's because it gets so hot. I mean, it gets ridiculously hot. And it has a good flat surface for the pizza dough. And everybody that knows if you do fresh pizza, you know, not frozen, you need a good hot flat surface. Well, that's what we're about to do. I'm going to simplify it a little bit. I'm not going to make up dough like I may do one day, depending on how this does. I'm going to use Pillsbury Waffle pizza dough, which is something anybody can get. I got that at Walmart. And then the rest of it I'll explain, but it's just mozzarella and pepperoni and Genoa salami, the kind of stuff you can get or whatever you would want on your pizza. The real thing is to see just how well this turns out, and I've got good expectations. Let's get this started. All right, I'll start out by saying I could not find any recipe from Ninja that mentioned a pizza in this device, so I'm completely kind of winging it. Now, I wanted to say this. This is where I got my Genoa salami and my pepperoni. It's just something I got at Sam's, but you can get this kind of stuff anywhere, and it kind of gives you a way to use it for other stuff if you don't use all of the toppings that you buy. Now, I'm going to use fresh mozzarella. Got that at, I think, at Sam's. I'm pretty sure I got that at Sam's. Costco, one, don't remember. And then here's the pizza dough we're using. This is really what it's about. This is simple, man. I just used it the other night on the calzones I did in my Ninja Foodi, the one lid Ninja Foodi that's on the market that does steam and crisp. I'll link it. It did really well, and I used something very similar to this. I use a thick crust, but still. And I had this left over, so that's what we're using. And I got mushrooms, I got spinach, I got basil, Parmesan, and then my favorite pizza sauce, which is Rayo's, but you can use any type, marinara even. You don't have to have pizza. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this kind of cleared up where we can start on this right here. I'm going to cut it down to fit. See if you can see it. We're going to fit this right here. And there's a little explanation to go with this too, I'll say. And I'll get into that in just a second. So y'all hold up and I'll be right back. All right, I did want to touch on this first. And it is because this is what they refer to as the barbecue griddle. Well, I can't find anywhere in this manual, in the recipes, or in this manual that says, you shouldn't go above 400. But I also can't find anywhere that says that they take it above 400. And let's see if you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, barbecue griddle, when you go to that, it'll only go to 400 degrees. So, and people may already know, there may be somebody, in fact, if you do know, if there's somewhere in here that I've missed or somewhere in there that says you can't, please put it in the comments and I'll try and amend how I can to correct it, because I don't want anyone to damage their unit. And I don't want to damage mine, but I mean, these are, they're $29 on their website, so I'm willing to risk it because I'm probably going to go above 400. But like I said, I couldn't find any recipes that went above 400 in any of these anywhere. But again, I couldn't find anywhere that said you couldn't. So I'm about to do it, and we'll find out. But I don't want you to ruin yours, just letting you know. And I'm going to get this out of the way, and we're going to get started. I'm going to put this right here, and then I'm going to press function again. I'm going to take it to grill. I'm going to press temp, and I'm going to take it to max, which I think is around 550. I don't know. We'll be using my my infrared temperature reading device, and we'll know exactly how hot it is. But it's also set at 10 minutes. We're going to remove that because I'm not in a hurry. I want it to get completely preheated, and I think the highest it'll go is 30, and it is. So you have to close the lid. I'll go ahead and press it. It tells you to shut the lid. But right now we are set up for maximum heat for 30 minutes, and somewhere along in there we're going to take a reading. Now, I'm going to let this proof while what I call proof. I'm gonna roll it out and let it kind of get to room temp, which I've had it out of there, out of the refrigerator for a little bit anyhow. But I'm going to kind of let it proof. Whoops, I may have just messed that up. But I'm going to let it kind of expand, and there it went. It opened up for me already. Throw that right here. We'll open this up, and I'm going to roll it out. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead. I couldn't find it the other night, I couldn't find my cornmeal, or my, I think it's called semonella, whatever. I'm just going to throw some of this cornbread mix, which has got cornmeal in it, and it works excellent. I've used it many times before. And I did buy some of that semonella one time, and I couldn't tell just about any difference in it, but I couldn't find it. So I got to get this out of here, and I'm gonna try and unroll it, and then we're gonna make that fit pretty much, you know, that the griddle thing they're talking about, the barbecue griddle. So you see what I'm doing, and like I said, I'm gonna let this lay out at room temp to kind of proof. Not gonna do anything to it till it's laid there a little while. Then I'm gonna cut it with something to make it fit that thing, and I'm going to put my cheese and sauce and all that lovely stuff on it. Now I should have used a little more of that stuff, but I'm gonna let it lay there a minute and kind of get some room temp going on and kind of expand, and we'll work with it again. I'll be back. All right, and like I said, it's almost impossible not to kind of mess with, and all I'm doing is this. I'm just making it square because, see, I like to make a hole right there, and I don't want a hole, and I might be doing a little more than I should, but I got areas that I can tell aren't just, so I don't mind putting a little more of that cornmeal there. So I'm just telling you where you'll know, and all I'm going to do eventually is cut off some of this. Then I got to figure out how to pick it up and get it in there, and I haven't got that all the way figured out, but I'm working on it. Okay, here comes the next trick that I'm going to be trying, which is I'm going to cut that just like that, and hopefully it's going to fit that pan, and if it don't, hopefully I can make it go in there, because it's going to be hot, obviously. In fact, let's see where it's at after about 3 minutes of add food. We're talking about 430 something degrees. So here's my plan. I'm gonna put my toppings on in this device. So I'm gonna just kind of pour some in this spoon. I'm gonna put it in there and then swirl it around. Now I didn't measure that obviously, but I'm gonna guess at it about 3 tablespoons. I'll just say that where you'll know. And then, but I mean, you could make this fit in any air fryer. I mean, technically, you really could. And this kind of, but now, most air fryers won't have this temp. Now we're just going to, I'm going to break those in half, drop some mozzarella here and there, and some mushrooms and maybe some spinach and all. It's kind of it's more of a test than it is a real cook. So just bear with me. Here's some basil. I'll tear a little basil and put on there. And again, I should have looked at that a little. What I normally do is put these in a bowl, and then I take kitchen shears. You can see that on my other video. I take kitchen shears and just cut it into, you know, bite-sized pieces or whatever. But you can hear it sizzling, and it's getting some stuff done. I'm going to put a little spinach on there because I can. And that may get up. Well, it's got a guard on the fan in these, as you know. I'm going to weigh them down with some pepperoni. So, do that right there. And then maybe, if I got time, I'm going to grate some, I can't stand to not have a little bit of mozzarella. I love mozzarella. I'm going to grate some Parmesan on top of it now, although that's something you can do afterwards. But it might help a little bit as some weight. So, and I can, so I am. That's pretty much the real part of it. Just that right there, no big deal. And I'll even throw that one right there. close the lid back, and we'll see what it looks like in a few minutes. It's 1:37, and well, you see, 24:35. Be back. All right, I want to show you right quick. It did blow my pepperoni off, and I don't know I'm going to get it to stay, but it blew it off. I just slung some, but we're going to, it's not a crisis. We're going to let it go. I should have put more cheese. I should have put the mozzarella on top of the pepperoni, but we'll know. All right, I moved the camera a little bit. We're getting close to 10 minutes, and I repositioned. Well, I still blew one off, but you see that, in fact, you know what? That dough's done, I think. I think so. It's close. In fact, we're going to call it done. We're learning, so might take 2 of these, and we're going to do one more, and I'm going to do the mozzarella a little different. But you got to admit, that doesn't look really, that looks pretty good for in fact, it looks real good for a home pizza. So I'm going to try and get this spinach that blew everywhere. Sounded like a good idea that I might have to rethink. But I'm going to get this right here up. I'm going to let this stay preheated now. I'm not going to let it go cold. I'm going to let it run. We're going to cut another one. I'm going to see if I can make that happen a little better. But so far, so good. You can hear the crust. It just might be really right. In fact, we're going to cut right now, right out of here. Let's see if I can get where you can see and hear. Well, my mic's on my shirt, so let's just see what it sounds like. So far, I'm impressed. May not. That's what it looks like right in the center. And it probably could have rested a little bit longer. And maybe, you know what though? The bottom of that, if you can get light, if I can get some light on it that's good, it looks good. There's no doubt. So, it is good. That's a good pizza. So I'm gonna try and get my act together. And we'll do the next one. And maybe not have the pepperoni blow everywhere. I'm gonna put that mozzarella on top of it. I will be back. Okay, I wanted to show it to you, man. It's not just good. It's excellent. It really is. And we're gonna fix where it blew that pepperoni around, like this right here. I've got like 5 minutes left because I want at least 10 minutes. That's what that one took. So I'm just gonna roll that out. And again, this would be the thing you would do if you had, you know, guests over, and everybody wanted one a little bit different. Now I didn't put mushrooms on the last one, and I don't know how it's gonna act with those. So I hate to for it to act crazy again. But I'm not going to put basil or the spinach on there again because it definitely blew that off. But what I'm about to do is lift this up, put it on that hot griddle. We're going to take a measurement on it just so we'll know. I kind of want to know myself. It's 430, same thing it was last time. So all we're going to do is drop this store-bought Whop'em. Really, it's really thin right now, but that crust is I'll just, you know, I'll hush, but it's really good. I'm almost out of this jar, but I've got plenty more. But we're going to just put what I got here. So we're going to put that there. I got to make sure the camera's pointing where it should be. And I'm just going to move that around as that dough or that crust starts to cook. It starts to set, in other words. And I am going to slow down a little bit. I kind of got in a hurry on the other one. I think I could use a little bit more there. But it didn't need much more. A lot of people put way more sauce than, it always seems like you need more. But honestly, you just don't on a pizza. I have a pizza oven, an outdoor one. And I've always found that it's just real easy to put more of that than you need. Now the mushrooms I'm only going to do on half of it, and normally they're probably a little thick. They are sliced a little thick. I'm just going to put a few of them right here, just so I'll know how they do. Just like that and that. We're good. And then I'm going to put all this top stuff down and then put that mozzarella on top of it, hopefully to hold it. And that will fix the few problems we had, which, to be honest with you, the way that pizza tastes is really, really good. Now, I should have drained that a little better maybe. There's a couple of things you could do. I ain't going to say I'm in a hurry. I am trying to do it right. It's just, when you're videoing, if you ever start doing it, you'll see what I mean. It changes things. But anyhow, that's why I do it. And I have learned a lot doing these videos. And stuff like this that I never probably would have ever thought of or tried. So I'm going to put that there. And again, this would be a good time once it comes out to put basil or whatever on it. But I think I'm going to leave it right there. And if I had that Parmesan, I could find everything I wanted, I'm going to grate a little bit of that on there. But you can see it's cooking right now, so there's really no reason to be in some kind of super hurry. They're just not. I mean, that deck is 430 degrees. And that dough, as you can see, is rising because it's cooking. So I'm sold on this method. It might take a couple more times before I have it completely perfected, but we're really close, and that's the second pizza I've ever done. So, be back. All right, I didn't watch closely at the time. Oh, we are done. So I'm gonna have to move that one. It's already got brown on the edges. We'll move this one, right there. There's nothing wrong with that one. It is excellent. I don't want to mess it up. So this one right here is done too. And we're gonna move it to the pan and let it cool just a minute. And I messed up that area. But you can see right out of there, it looks good. So, and that crust is gonna be good too. But so is that one. So let me let that cool off and I'll be back. Okay, I want to say this, and like I said, I've got a pizza oven outside, and we cook on it quite often, and my son has pretty much mastered it. And I'm not saying that the dough we make or the ones we buy at Publix and all that are not good. They are really good. But that right there is, for convenience, almost impossible to beat. And this is a thin crust. If you watch my other video of the calzones, you'll see they make a thick crust also, but this right here, almost impossible. I'm gonna try and cut where you can kind of hear it maybe. But it also, the mushrooms did good, and this one's kind of got cold, but still. And it blew those around a little bit, but you saw how I fixed it, and it fixed really well. I'm gonna cut that where I won't make a mess. I'll say it 100 times. It's not that anything else isn't really good. There ain't nothing wrong with this Pillsbury. It's really close to a pizzeria, a Neapolitan. It just is. So, you saw me eat that one. I'm gonna kind of back away from here. I'm gonna raise this up where maybe I can get in the video. That's a good pizza, take my word. And again, I could go on forever, but if you had guests over, everybody just kind of makes their own thing, and you slice one of those into 3 pieces and they make their own, or how many you need. This thing's still running because it's hot. Yeah, it's still running. The clock's still running. That's something you might want to know. When you're running that device or that grill, it keeps running. Anyhow, really good pizza. I'll also say the Ninja, the new one lid one, I did a calzone in it. You should watch it. That's a steaming crisp calzone. It was really good. I was impressed with it also. Man, that thing is hot. Anyhow, these work real well. I am very pleased. Y'all have a good night. Y'all come back to see me, and I love y'all all. I mean it. All right, I'm not sure how I'm going to insert this in, but I realized after I turned off the video, I had forgot to show the crust like I should have. And right there is the last one I did. I'll show you the whole thing. It's excellent as I've ever seen them. I mean, they're very, very good. And then this one right here is the one I did first. And I got a little light issue, but you can see it. It was probably nothing to be complained about. I'll leave it at that. But anyhow, I don't know how I'm gonna put it in, but there you go. The crust, the bottom of it.